All right, everyone, thank you for waiting. I know some of you have to leave, but that's completely okay. Tonight we have Messina. She is a league certified instructor. She's been cycling for a very long time and can very strongly speak to how to get started cycling and how to enjoy the benefits. And she has some stuff that I will be able to pass out for you all. So just sit back, enjoy your pizza, and thank you for waiting and coming.
I apologize. I had the times messed up on my calendar, and anyway, so I am here. And thank you for waiting, and hope you enjoyed your pizza without me talking in your ear. Okay, so yes, I'm a licensed certified instructor for the League of American Bicyclists. It's a course we take, and they test us, they quiz us, and I have a lot of experience in riding bicycles as well as teaching. I do a lot of presentations at grade schools. Some of the grade schools include, as part of their recreation, or not recreation, but their gym class, they allow like 30 minutes for the small children and 45 minutes for the older children, for me to talk to them briefly on basic bicycle safety. And that's what I'll give to you this evening, is basic bicycle safety. And it begins with the ABCs. Now, ABCs. When you get ready to go out and ride your bicycles, before you leave the house to go to the garage or wherever your bike is, you want to make sure that you're wearing bright colored clothes, you're wearing tennis shoes that are laced and tied, or tennis shoes, or a really good shoe that is not going to flip-flop as you're riding. You're going to wear pants that are not going to catch in the chain or the spokes. So those are a few things I mentioned to the kids, is to think about what you're wearing that you want to be safe. The second thing is, now you walk out to the garage to get the bike. You want to check the bike to make sure it is safe. And for small children, any children, adults, it's the ABCs. You check the air in the tire by squeezing the tire. If the tire is hard, the front and back tire, you don't need any air in it. All right? If the tire, and I say, if it squishes like a marshmallow, that means you need some air in your tires. On the tire rim tells you how much air to put in the tire. If you know how to put air in the tire yourself, do it. If not, ask an adult or an older sister or brother to help you. Okay, so the ABCs, A is for air, B is the brakes, and you want to check the brakes. A lot of you have the brakes with the hand levers. When you squeeze the brake on the right, you should take a look at your back tire and make sure that brake is moving and grabbing the tire. If you squeeze the left, it should be the front tire. It should squeeze the rim. If you see that it's not squeezing the rim, then again, your brake's going to need some attention, and you should bring it to the attention of a parent or an older brother or sister, or maybe your neighbor rides bikes and he knows that you have a bike and that you could easily ask him a question. And the last thing is the chain. You want to check the chain on your bike to make sure it is clean. There's no leaves or dust or dirt that might have built up, because some of your bikes are for trails, which means you can ride on streets, or you can ride on paths, or you can ride on trails. So they may get a little dirty and dusty, and they'll need a little cleaning, a little attention. Part of the maintenance of a bike is to lube the chain. And you can Google this. I can demonstrate with, there's bicycle lube for chains, and very easy. With the rag, you sort of dribble some of the lube like an oil on your chain, and you spin the chain, you spin your pedal, and it it moves the oil and lubes the chain. And this is to protect the chain, so it moves smoothly for you to ride safely. And, you know, it's considered a little bit of an investment in your bike to have it for a long time as you ride and enjoy your adventures. So ABCs, those are the 3 most important. So now you're ready to hop on your bike, and very important, make sure you have your helmet. Usually when I give these presentations, I have my own helmet and I show how to put it on, how to make sure it fits properly. And I've been advised that all of you this evening had a helmet fitting. And the best rule is make sure you wear it. Make sure you wear it flat on your head. So I say flat because some people wear it like a baseball cap. You want to wear it on your head, and make sure that if you put your 2 fingers underneath the helmet here, the helmet touches your top finger, okay? Because it's going to protect your head, it's going to protect your brain. And then underneath your chin, you're going to make sure that you can fit at least 2 fingers underneath your chin, which means it's tight enough. Okay, so it fits fine tonight, as I understand. You got a helmet fitting, but from time to time throughout the spring and summer, check to make sure it hasn't loosened, because sometimes those straps will loosen up a bit. And you know, if you fall, you don't want the helmet going like this and then you come to the ground. You want to make sure your helmet is on firmly and it's going to protect your head. All right, you only have one brain, one head. You got to take care of it. All right, so those are the ABCs. Now, I understand there is a big question on riding on sidewalks or the road. Now, in Bensenville, some streets don't have sidewalks, and there's a lot of communities where they don't have sidewalks. I, as a cyclist, and with my age, it doesn't make sense for me to ride on a sidewalk, all right? We say, if there are small children, let's say up to the age of 10 or 11 or 12, again, there's a skill set that needs to be acquired. You know, you need to be able to ride confidently. But young riders, it is perfectly okay to ride on sidewalks. We do encourage small children to ride on sidewalks. Bigger kids, we say it's best to ride on the road. Now, I will give you the pros and cons of why we say ride on the street. But for the first part, for riding on sidewalks, a couple of things. Automobiles, people driving a car, they're not looking at the sidewalks. They're looking on the road. And if you go to cross the street, they're not anticipating that there's going to be a cyclist crossing the street. And so more than likely, they're not going to see you, and they're going to be just as surprised as you are when they go to turn as you're crossing the street. That's number one. Another reason why we don't like seeing older people ride on sidewalks is because there's a lot of driveways, there's a lot of entranceways to garages, there's a lot of, sometimes you'll see a telephone pole or a light pole, a light fixture, or you'll see a stop sign. There could be obstacles on the sidewalk. There could also be people who are pushing a stroller or smaller kids on scooters. So you have all these people using the sidewalk. And with a bicycle, you tend to get possibly a little speed, go a little faster, you know? And so there's a lot of traffic that can be on the sidewalk. So it's not always safe for someone on a bike going fast on the sidewalk. Now, the biggest thing I don't like about riding on the sidewalks, because sometimes we have to. Sometimes there's no other way for you to get from here to there unless you're on a sidewalk. And some of the sidewalks, as you're on the road, you know, how they dip down for a driveway or an entranceway into a business, that could catch you off guard, you know. So that's why we say it's not always safer to ride on a sidewalk.
Has anyone ever hit a crack and then fell off and skinned their knee? Because I know I have, and we don't want that for you guys.
Yeah, that's part of the obstacles. Sometimes there's, you know, the cracks in the sidewalk could be an inch or two, and if you're not expecting it, it could throw you off your bike, all right? Thank goodness for helmets, right? And thank goodness we wear a helmet. Some areas you have to ride on the sidewalk. When there are a lot of people on the sidewalk, I say if you're on a sidewalk and there's no other place to ride, get off your bike and walk it when there's a lot of people on the sidewalk, because you want to be a courteous cyclist. You want to be courteous, but bottom line is you want to be safe and you want to be considerate. Walk your bike, especially when you're in a downtown area. Now Bensenville has a lot of nice little places to go to walk along, to go get something to eat, or you know, go window shopping. Please walk your bike when you're around a lot of people. Why I think roads are safer? First of all, we have a policy. A bicycle has wheels. It's a means of transportation. Not only is it a means for fun and recreation and a healthy lifestyle, it's also a means of transportation. It takes you to the pool, it takes you to the library, it takes you to the park, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so we recommend riding on the roads. We recommend following the rules of the road. Anybody in an automobile has to take a test, and they have to obey the rules. Part of the rules are following the signs. Now this is a yield sign, which I tell cyclists, when you see a yield sign, you stop. You stop, okay? It doesn't always mean stop for people in a car. It means you look to see if there's any traffic and then you go on. But for someone who is a lot smaller than a car and on a bicycle, I tell you to stop, just to make sure there's no cars, and then you proceed to cross the street, whether you're on a sidewalk or whether you're on the street. All right, and the next sign, which is very important, is a stop sign. All right, you make sure you stop. And what we say is you look to the left, you look to the right, you look to the left again. If there's no cars, you can proceed safely. Now there's a lot of paths we have that we could ride our bikes on paths. You know, there's the Prairie Path, and then up towards Bussy Woods, they've got a big path there. And those paths also have stop signs. And they have stop signs to make sure that anybody on this trail stops, because that means there's traffic coming the other way, and that could be very dangerous. And that's one of the rules of the road that a cyclist has to follow. Another rule is when you're on the road, if this is the road, okay, let's say this is Wood Avenue, all right? And on my right side, I'm gonna ride within 3 feet of the end of the road. This is where we want cyclists. We want them to the far right. Not to the very tippity end, because that could be dangerous, because some roads have a little lip. So that's what you want to do. You want to stay to the far right of the road when you're on the road. Let's say there's a car coming and you want to make a right-hand turn. We talk about hand signals, where you put your right arm out, or if you're riding with your friends, you say, I'm making a right turn. You let them know what you're doing, and you put your right arm out. So if I'm in a car and I see you coming towards me, like you're over here, you're riding where you're supposed to on the side of the road, and I'm coming this way, all right? And I see your right arm out, I say, oh, he's making a right-hand turn. Okay? So hand signals are very important. And I have that on a little handout. So right arm is considered a right turn, and a left hand is considered a left turn. All right? So let's say you come to an intersection, and you're on the far right-hand side of the road where you need to be, and there's no cars behind you. But there is a car coming this way, coming the opposite way. If you stick your left hand out, you're making a left-hand turn. And I always say, wait for the car to go back past you. Okay, make sure the car has gone past you and it's safe for you to make that left-hand turn. Because that car may see that, oh, he wants to make a left-hand turn. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stop, and I'm going to say, hey, go ahead. And this is what we say, communicate. Communicate with the drivers. But it's very important. And if you're riding with your friends, and there's a whole bunch of you, and you're riding down the street, having a good time, if you're going to stop, or if you're going to slow down, what we say is, when I'm with all my friends and we're riding, we'll say, I'm slowing, because I'm coming up to a stop sign. Just a minute ago, I was going as fast as I can because I want to get from here to there. And I'm riding as fast as I can, and oh, there's a stop sign, I gotta stop. So, I may shout out to my friends, slowing, I'm slowing down, so that's why we say slowing. And then if I'm going to, I'm going to stop, I'm going to say stopping, I'm stopping, okay? So you're going to give direction of what you're doing. You're going to give verbal communication, but if you try one new thing each time you're out on your bike, it becomes second nature. Now, Bensenville is a lovely community. You have a lot of nice neighborhood streets which are safe to ride. Safe is, you make it safe because you follow the rules of the road and you pay attention. Okay, you pay attention. And I always say it is not safe to wear earbuds when you're riding a bike. When you're riding a bike, it is very important to be alert and attention. Pay attention to what you see and what you hear. I may not see the car coming this way, but I sure can hear a car in the distance. When you're on the path, you're going to stay to the right of the path. That's very important. Again, because other people who are bigger than you are going to be riding past you, because some people, that's part of their workout. That's part of their exercise routine. They want to ride strong, and they want to ride fast, and they want to ride hard. So the last thing you want to do is get in their way. They're going to say passing on your right or passing on your left. And when they say passing on your right, that means they're going to be on your right-hand side. If they say passing on your left, they're going to be passing you on your left side. Now I noticed that there's, you don't have bells on your bike, but Christmas is coming, and a small bicycle bell fits nicely in a stocking. A lot of us have bells on our bike, and we'll ring them. So if I'm on the prairie path, let's say I see somebody like right where that door is, and they're in the middle of the path, I'll ring my bell, and it gives them an idea that, oh, someone's coming. And as I get closer, I'll say, passing on your left, or passing on your right. So I let them know, I announce I'm coming. It's good to be seen, right? And I notice a lot of you don't have lights on your bikes. If you're going to be riding at night, you need to have lights on your bike. You need to have a white light on the front, like cars. Cars have a white headlight, right? And so a white light on the front of the bike, and a blinking tail light, a red light on the back. Give out what you need. We have what is called a bicycle safety quiz, and one is for adults, so you adults who are really like big kids in disguise, and for the young children, and for, let's say, I don't even ride a bike. There is a quiz for adults who drive but don't ride a bike. And that will explain why you're gonna see a bike on the street. And you're gonna say, oh, that's why they're in the middle of the road, because they're making a left-hand turn. You're gonna see the world from a cyclist view, but even though you're a motorist, you'll understand. But again, being safe is very important, all right?
So, yeah, I just think there's an opportunity for the kids to, you know, as they grow and mature. That's another thing. The older kids get, the greater responsibilities you have. And riding the bike safely is one of them. And making sure your friends follow the rules. So you got the bike safety quiz. If you're part of a biker group, get them to take the quiz.
And now you all know how to do it. So let's give a round of applause for you all for showing up and thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And feel free to take as much pizza as you want.